Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth. Today we are going to do a plan with me for April 15th through the 21st. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin by putting down my headers for each day of the week, just Monday through Sunday. These are from my April planner kit, really designed for an A5 Sterling Ink Common Planner, but you can use them wherever you want to use them. And they are mostly undated, so if you don't like the turquoise and tan color scheme for this month, you can use it on another month. You can download that via the link down below on my Patreon. You do not have to be a patron member to buy that. So what happened last week? Last week we had an eclipse. Here in the US was directly in the path of totality, depending on where you lived. I happened to be directly in the path of totality, and it was a moment. I enjoyed it. You don't get to experience them that often. We did have heightened traffic and all of that sort of thing because people had come into the state for the eclipse, and miraculously, despite what the forecast had been saying, in the middle of the day, it was 82 degrees and absolutely clear skies. Not a single cloud in the sky for that moment. It was a good time. And we had some people in our organization, because I was at work, show up with little alien headbands on. And one of my coworkers showed up with a red Devo hat to protect his head from the aliens. Oh, if it could! I have been not even ankle deep or knee deep or waist deep. Like, I have been head deep in science fiction this month between watching Stargate and I'm listening to Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir as my audiobook, and I am reading The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. We're just all up in the aliens and the sci-fi this month. Hang on, I'm gonna stick that on my finger and put down our Little Mermaid here first. We can call her Ariel. She's more based on the Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen. There we go. April. Yep, so that's what I did last week. We eclipsed on Monday. Look, guys, I actually filled in my meal tracker. So it's noon on Saturday when I'm filming this, so I haven't had lunch yet. I do need to do this pretty quickly. I have a lot of things I need to do in my apartment. There's things I'm fed up with, and I'm gonna go through here like a whirling dervish and get art on the walls and clean off my dining room table, which has been staged like a construction zone. That's where the drill and all of my tools live, and it's just a hot mess. And I'm done. I'm just gonna go through here as fast as I can this weekend. I'm not going anywhere. This is my goal. This weekend is just to knock this stuff out. And then what else last week? I had a big event on Thursday that was out of town. That went great. I had to cancel going to Bullet Journal U office hours on Friday because I had a site visit at another event location coming up in a week and a half. And this was the only time I could fit it in. So I had to get out of that. We had to work a little bit early. Our boss was like, hey, if you're having a quiet Friday, deuces, you can leave. And I was like, I'm down with that. So home projects, I reorganized a little bit of my kitchen. You know, when you move, you put things where you think you're going to use them, and then that doesn't necessarily work for you the first time around. So I switched some things around in the kitchen. I've worked on a meal plan for myself. If you haven't yet watched my Shifting Your Goals video, which went up yesterday, you can learn more about that there. Clean dining, that's the dining table that I need to clean off. It is the weekend that I need to deep clean the litter boxes, so I got to do that today. Then my list of things for Dots and Beyond. I did add in a Walmart order on Tuesday that I didn't originally plan to do. This week is extremely light on meetings. Now, I do have an event on the 24th, which is Wednesday, so I need to do some prep for that. I also have a week-long sort of celebration that we do in May, which is going to fall, I think, on this week that I need to do some major prep for. And I have an event here that I need to do some prep for. Once I get past this week in May, I get to breathe. I might even take a vacation. I'm probably not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to take some time off because, knock on wood, there's nothing else scheduled immediately following for June or July. And I'm just thrilled about it. I have a lot of other things that are in my wheelhouse than events. I have other projects that I need to work on. I've not had time to work on those because things have just been coming back to back to back. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. My skinny washi tapes have gone with 2 of the darker teal colors this time. This one's got little hearts on it. I don't know if you can see that. This one's just got little dots. You know, nothing spectacular. Again, they were in the same set of 60 skinny washi tapes that I purchased to see if they would get me through this year and my colors, and so far so good. They're working for me if I can find the end of them. That's always the caveat, is whether I can find the end of it or not. I mentioned it in my last plan with me that I could do something different with this washi tape. I don't know, change it up, make it a little more exciting, but separating my work day out works for me visually. I can see it. I know when my work day starts because of where the washi tape is, and I know where it ends because of where the washi tape is. It's just beneficial for me just to see it. I'm gonna let that run over a little long. I'm not feeling super persnickety today about having things look perfect. And I know that we've talked about this in the past where I've let perfectionism go by the wayside, but I'm getting even more there, especially when, like I said, I'm in a hurry. I got things I've got to do today. I'm still gonna need to edit this and do all of that as well. All right, I'm gonna grab my coordinating color. I probably should have done this before I put down the washi tape, but that's okay. I have no weird hours this week. Last Thursday, I had to be on the road by 7 a.m. to get to an event, which was hard, y'all. I am not a morning person. The other thing I did, I blocked off this time period for possibly trying to get in workouts. We're going to do it again. But did I do it? One day. One is better than none. Let's just say that. One is better than none. And we're going to try it again because that movement is something that I have got to get into my day. I am going to put in my little circle sun sign up here for my co-star horoscopy email thing that comes on Sunday afternoons. Sometimes I read those to you when I get them. So last week was figure out what you really want and then figure out how to get it. You already know the secret is to really begin. See, it's not earth-shattering, but it's very practical advice. And I needed it that week. It landed on a good week for me. Monday, I am in office. Tuesday, I'm remote. Wednesday, I am in office per usual as I am on Thursday. And Friday, I am remote unless I need to change something. And hopefully I don't. Hopefully we just stay this way for the week. I'm going to go ahead and put in meetings. I have a double meeting on Tuesday, sort of. So every month, our CEO hosts a town hall that I typically just log into the Zoom and watch. But somebody else has also now put a meeting on that time frame. And I'm like, really, people? Did you not know that that is the day of a town hall? So here on noon on, well, first Monday, I have a meeting at 3:15, like a 15-minute thing. I need some storage space in our organization, and the person that's involved in space planning thinks they have found me a space and I need to go look at it. And then noon on Tuesday, Bullet Journal University does have on Monday at 11 the first session for our book club, which is Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte this month. I have a lot going on. Like, I don't have any meetings on it, but I don't think it's something that I can log in and listen to. I'll have to catch it on the replay, which is easy to do. I'd really love to be in on that first session and listen to the chit chat live and all of that, but I don't think I can make that work. Wednesday, I have a standing staff meeting every 2 weeks at 9, and then I think that's it for actual meetings. But like I said, I got to get some project work put in here, and it won't stay this way. Somebody's going to schedule something else that I have to go to at some point during the week. It is just the way that it is. I don't think I'm going to draw in my brackets for lunch. Maybe I will. What do I want to do? Yeah, I'm going to draw them in. I was thinking maybe I would just put a dot and say this is the lunch, but we'll go ahead and keep with the brackets. I had been moving my lunches when I have something at noon to earlier in the day, like till 11. not going to do that. I'm going to move it to 1 and take that later because it just is already too close to where I've consumed breakfast. So I've talked about not being a morning person. I eat breakfast after I get to work. I either take some egg bites with me or I just eat a protein bar. It is hard for me to break my fast. Let me just say that. And so I'm doing that at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And then if I turn around and eat lunch at 11, then in the afternoon, my blood sugar gets all out of whack and I'm looking for a snack. And I do take things with me. I keep an apple, like an emergency banana if needed. Okay, we've got lunches scheduled in on top of that. I'm also going to put in the return of my daily reset, which is on my calendar for 4:30 to 5 every day. So nobody ever schedules a meeting there, which is great, but I haven't been doing them. And I'm just gonna put in this 4:30 to 5 spot and try to get those resets in. What do I do during a daily reset? Well, a daily reset, I try to get in and sort any of my emails, get them where they need to go, shoot for that inbox 0 sort of thing, look at my to-do list, see if there's anything that I missed for the day so that I can walk out of work and not think about it for the rest of my evening. That's really what that goal is. I haven't been doing them and I have felt it. I have felt not having that reflection moment at the end of my work day because then I'm trying to do it the next morning and inevitably somebody comes into my office or knocks on my door or comes to talk and then I don't get that reflection done and everything gets discombobulated after that. And my email right now really needs some help. My email needs me to have the 30 minutes at the end of each day and get it cleaned out. I left this workout space down here. I'm just gonna put this little tab D arrow at it rather than stick in another like workout sticker. It's fine if I can get it off of there. I'm just gonna write move on it. Like get some movement. Beth, you gotta get some movement in there. What do I want to put over here? Typically I do some to-do lists. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do one here and the other one, I guess, about here. That's about halfway down between here and here. And we will do home and dots and beyond. And I don't know what those to-do lists are going to look like yet. On Saturday, it is my youngest son's birthday. We don't know what we're doing yet. We don't know if we're doing anything because the boy won't cough up any ideas. Even if he doesn't want to do anything with family and he wants to go hang with his friends, he hasn't coughed up any ideas. We are just gonna put birthday. And if we end up with any plans, that's where they're gonna go. Let me get some washi tape in so I can see what I'm doing in the spaces that I have left. We're gonna switch from the one that's got the hearts on it to this one that's just got the dots. It's a little bit darker. Kind of anchor the page down at the bottom. There we go. Skinny washi tapes are super, super easy to cut with a fingernail. That's all wonky. I'm just gonna leave it. I told you we're not being persnickety. Somebody asked about my nail color last week. Somebody sent me a message and asked about my nail color that is going along with my aquamarine door theme. I am wearing Kiss nails because that's how I do my nails, and I stick with Kiss because they are the best. I'm affiliate. There's a link down below if you want to go buy any Kiss nails. But these are the ones that you put on and then you paint yourself. It is a Sinful Colors called Moss Have. So like must have, but moss. So Moss Have Sinful Colors. And I just loved it. I've actually had this for years. I had to remember that I had it. I had to shake it up. I wasn't even sure it was going to work, but it worked. And that's what the nail color is. So Kiss Nails and Sinful Colors Moss Have. Okay, because I did a good job keeping up with my meals, we're gonna do it again. So a dot for breakfast, a dot for lunch, a dot for dinner, and then I'll just write BLD on each one. Okay, and then in this space here is typically where I put deliveries or specific things for specific days. I don't have actually anything to put in here right now. Now there's a friend and I that are trying to figure out what night we're going to have dinner. It'll probably fall on Wednesday or Thursday, but we haven't nailed that down yet, so I'm not going to put that in here. It'll land there somewhere and then I can add it in. We have another friend that we want to have dinner with us who's starting a new job on Monday, so she's not quite sure how she's going to feel by the time she gets to Wednesday and Thursday, which I get. I totally understand. And then down here, we are going to put in the weather, and I am still going to stick with this I'm not gonna go back to drawing the icons yet and just writing in things like cloudy. Maybe one day I'll get there. Maybe one day I'll get to the point where I'm like, hey, I miss having cutesy little cloud icons or sun icons. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it might. What does our weather look like this week? On Monday, it is supposed to be a high of 80, a low of 65. It's supposed to be cloudy, so I can get my pen to work. 80, 65, cloudy. This is a weird angle for me with the camera, so if it looks a little odd, that's why. And a 5% chance of rain, so pretty much nothing. The other thing that is happening on Monday is that it is a first quarter moon, so we're gonna find our little circle and draw that in down here. Give it a little color in on the left side for a first quarter moon. All right, Tuesday, it's gonna be a stormy day. High of 75, low of 68. Storms, mostly in the morning, but it's enough that I'm just gonna write storms. And 85% chance of rain. We had a lot of rain last week on these days. Cloudy, rainy storms mix, and of course, I had a headache all through. I do have some sensitivity to barometric pressure, so like if one storm rolls in and rolls out, it's not a big deal. But if we have a lingering system that just sits on top of us, storming off and on, I tend to get at least a mild migraine, if not a worse one. It wasn't a great week when it came to just how my head felt. So partly cloudy and a 15% chance of rain on Wednesday. On Thursday, still 81, 51 for the low. What did I write? PM storms. This is where, when you see that we have a high of 81 and then it's going to drop below 60 or 55-ish, this is where we get tornadoes. Here is when there's that big of a temperature drop with the storm system. So we'll see what happens. But the chance of rain's only 55%, so I don't know what that's supposed to look like. We'll see when we get there. And then the temperature is 10 degrees lower the next day because of that storm system. Yeah, this is probably going to be a severe storm or tornado day, at least looking out for them. We are partly cloudy the next morning, and there's still a 15% chance of rain. We'll see how that all pans out. Then on Saturday, for the kid's birthday, it's supposed to rain in the morning and be cloudy in the afternoon. And it's cooler. Again, we're dropping another 10 degrees, which is interesting for April. I'm going to put rain and clouds. I hope your weather's better than my weather next week. I'm not loving the look of this weather. 35% chance of rain. On Sunday, still in the 60s. Morning rain. I mean, I guess it really is more like spring weather, right? Which is not what we normally get. And a 35% chance of rain. I should have a video up on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. The Sunday one will be like this one. It'll just be a plan with me. All right. We're going to stick in some... Where did I pick up this second pen? Who knows? I have them everywhere, so who knows where I actually picked that up and added it to my hand instead of the one that I was originally working with. I'm also going to block in some project time. So let me get this sticker in here and then we'll do that. All right. Let's block off some time. Since we don't have a whole lot of meetings, I'm going to make it a different color. I'm going to use the most of this day. I'm going to block off for graphic design time. I have some things that I need to design for upcoming events. This way I'm batching it. So I have graphics I need to make for probably 3 different things. That way I can just do all the design work on one day instead of bouncing back and forth between doing the design work and then planning work for another, just design work for the one day. And then I am going to, again, block off most of this morning for event planning. And I'm home that day. I'm going to color in that. And I do this now on the weekend before I get to Monday so that I can then go into my Outlook calendar and block this time off. And unless ridiculously important meeting with ridiculously important people comes up, I'll keep it blocked off and reserved for that particular time. And I think I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to let Thursday and Friday, where I have no meetings, be my catch-alls. So if these do get interrupted and I can't get done what I want to get done on these days, I'll move them over here. That leaves me plenty of time in here that if I need to block off some more space, I can definitely do that. Now that I have that in, we can stick some stickers in and make it look a little more fun. I cut these out because it reminded me of Ariel from the Disney Little Mermaid and her treasure trove of things that she has tucked away, her human things, her human treasures, like this cup, this mug. Little Mermaid is actually my favorite Disney film, by the way. I don't know why. You would think it would be The Lion King, and I do. It's my second. Lion King's my second favorite. It does make me homesick though, so it's very difficult for me to watch it because it actually does trigger a fair amount of homesickness for me. Not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but I just love The Little Mermaid. And I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one. We'll stick it over here on the boy's birthday day, and maybe we will do something. I sent a message to my ex and I said, it's really an OG activity for the boy, but we could go to the zoo. When he was little, that's what he always wanted to do. Even up into his teen years, he wanted to go to the zoo for his birthday. And our zoo is having this dragon exhibition thing because it's the year of the dragon, and my boy was born in the year of the dragon. And I was like, it's totally an OG birthday activity, but would he be interested in X? The weather's not perfect, but maybe we'll end up at the zoo this weekend. No idea what we're going to do. He is old enough that he's very picky about what restaurants. He's a little bit of a foodie as well, and so when he does pick a restaurant, he picks a good restaurant, and it's not like we end up at McDonald's for his birthday kind of situation. All right, there is the week. I start my daily pages with the 52 lists project, which comes out of this book. We are up to list 16, and in case you're curious, I don't know if I put last week on my index. If you're curious about how I'm indexing, if I can get back there. So this is my index. There was page 71 was week 15. This is page 78. So 78 will be the start of week 16. And that's how I am indexing the chronological calendar parts of my bullet journal in this common planner. Let's look back at list 15. So list 15 was list your dream trips, and we talked about a lot of these because these I could fire these off the top of my head. And I did mention like Kenya, Scotland, Peru, New Zealand, Iceland. I've added Hungary, Egypt, South Africa, Quebec, Turkey, Ireland, Dubai, Argentina, Boston, Seattle, and New York City. I've been to New York. It's been a really, really long time, and I was like 17. So I haven't done New York as an adult. I tacked on some of the American cities here. That would be a little bit easier for me to get to, a little bit easier of a trip that I've not been to yet. Denver was on my list, but I went to Denver in November. So I've done Denver. It's there. Then what types of things do you do on vacation? I'm a wanderer. I'm a local traveler. I don't really like to do a lot of the touristy kind of things. I do like to see historic places, but I want to do it on my own terms. I don't want to do it on any kind of guided tour situation. And local restaurants, the whole idea of this was to take the things that you would do while you're on vacation and do them at home to give you that sense of adventure in your own backyard. See what list 16 says. I never look ahead. List 16. List your essentials. Are your essentials sentimental or practical? Take some time this week to reflect on how your essentials make you who you are. It's very vague. List your essentials. I think we all have our essentials. I don't know if I ever really thought about listing them down. I routinely say to people that stuff is just stuff, and that while I am a maximalist in my decor and whatnot, should I have to walk away and leave it, I probably could. I don't think I'm that attached to all of it. I have one app that is an essential, and that's Spotify. Spotify's my ride or die. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember that when Spotify jumped the pond from Europe to the US and was finally available here, you had to have an invitation to redeem in order to get it. You couldn't just be like, I want Spotify. No, somebody had to invite you. That happened a lot with software so that it didn't overwhelm servers. And I was like, I have to have this. Luckily, because of my upbringing overseas and all of the friends that I have around the world, I had my Spotify subscription within 24 hours of it jumping the pond, and I have never looked back. I've never looked at Apple Music since then. I had a pretty extensive Apple catalog. I had spent plenty of money on iTunes, but once Spotify jumped the pond, it became my ride or die. It is my music platform of choice. I don't use Google Music. I don't use Amazon Music. Spotify. It's my one app essential. I would say my planner is an essential for sure. I don't want to list people in essentials, so I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about what my essentials are. What would I grab if this apartment was on fire? That good old question of, if it was all burning to the ground, what would you take with you? Grab the cats. Grab the cats. There is list 16, list your essentials. If you know what your essentials are, give me 3 examples down in the comments below. Maybe you'll inspire me to figure out what my essentials are, but I would definitely love to read yours. We're gonna hop back here to our week. Is that the right one? Yep, there it is. So we are all set up for April, what did I say, 15th through the 21st. We're ready to go. My kid's gonna have a birthday. Hopefully we'll actually do something for that particular birthday. If you don't want to leave a comment and let me know what one of your essentials is, leave me some sort of sea creature emoji down in the comments below. There's plenty of them, I think, to choose from. If you like this video, y'all, you know what you gotta do. It really helps me out. Please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.